librarians and my dear students. It's a pleasure to discuss about the importance of books and librarian. And I'd like to give some real life incidences which happened with me, which I would like to share with you. And with that, I'll try to give the importance of the book in my life and why we should read and why librarians are one of the most important people at the institute, right? So this was the case around fourth year of my doctoral journey. All those people who have done doctorate, they know that fourth year is the most stressful place because your stipend is about to get over in a year. You are searching for the job. Your friends and family members are asking you when you will get married. Your bank is not allowing you to get married because of the poor balance and account. And at that point of time, you feel it is such a low point in your life that why I have chosen to do PhD and corporate job was good, why I left that and why I came to academics and all that. And it was one of the most depressing situation I will say at point of my life personally. At that point of time, I got a chance to read one author, Lucius Annaeus Seneca, mainly known as Seneca. And there was a book by him called as Letters from Stoic. It's a very small book, a collection of 125 letters, which Seneca wrote approximately around 25 AD, that means 2000 years before. And that was essentially to console his friend who was jailed and imprisoned at that point of time by the Emperor Nero. And it was giving him insight that how to live the life when it is not going according to your way. And those 125 letters, the collection of those 125 letters, letters from Stoic. So Stoicism is a philosophy which you can read more about. That gave me an idea that this is something which is happening in my life also. And at that point of time, I realized what a philosopher is. The taste of philosopher is actually when you see that something which was written 2000 years before is exactly happening in your life. And those letters in the book gave me the way to approach the life and face the reality, gave me that courage. Similarly, one more book from the author that I read recently was on shortness of life. That also gave me calm and composure to see the life from different kind of perspective. Why I shared these points with you is because at your age, students specifically, you have a lot of questions in your mind, what will happen with your future and all this kind of stuff. You want to slow down, calm and learn from the people, right? And why I read books is obviously to get insights and all that, but one of the major advantage, which I personally believe, is books allow you to meet those people who are either dead or who are not in your circle of influence. I again repeat, books allow you to meet those people who are either dead or who are not in your circle of influence. That is the most important thing. For example, Bill Gates will never sit me, most probably in my lifetime. But by just buying a book written by him on how to avoid climate disaster, I get to talk to Bill Gates. I get to go deeper into his mind for 8 to 10 hours. That's the benefit of book. That's the reason one should always invest money in book. So obviously right now here at the library, so you can access the books, but later on when you join in your respective jobs, I will recommend you invest at least 1000 to 2000 rupees per month from your pocket, right? If not 1000, at least 500 rupees, right? Which is the cost of Domino's pizza with a cheese burst, so as to say, which we eat regularly. Do that. Don't download the books for free, PDF online and all those kind of stuff, right? Because then you will not have accountability to read those books. So that is one of the most important thing which I believe that why books are important. And on top of that, I would like to narrate one more incident where I will appreciate librarians in my life. So again, it was the case from PhD only. Most of the cases are around that point of time only in my life. It was third or fourth year and I required a couple of books which were not available related to adult learning theory and experiential learning theories, how adult brain learns and all that. Books were not available in India, but were available into the printed format in the UK. And somehow I am from the old school who still likes to read the books in a physical format. I have Kindle and all that, but some of the feeling of reading a book in a physical format is something which is beyond the imagination. And maybe the reason behind that is because of the way our brains were formed from the childhood and all that. Maybe your generation will be more equipped with the online and all this kind of stuff. So here the books were costing around 6,000 rupees, and again I had a meager stipend of 25,000 rupees from the scholarship. And I thought how it will happen. I just went to library and I was apprehensive in the beginning, but 6,000 is a big amount for two books, right? But librarian was, ho jayega, what's the problem? We'll do it. I said, great. So that was the thing, and those books were really important for me to complete my further and doctoral research work that I was doing at that point of time. Within few weeks, the books were in my hand from UK. So again, thank you so much, the people like you only who have helped us to get access to books which somewhere we could not buy or we don't have access to because of your network, internet and all that, as you rightly said, is something which is very important. So I would like to end my discussion with a kind of a mantra to all those who are here, especially the students. 3 things you need to do for next 1.5 years, right? And you will see that there will be a huge transformation in your life. Because understand, everybody is going through same program, PGDM, MBA, same institute, same degree, same faculty members, same classes, same corporate events and everything. The only X factor that you will create in your personality will be through reading. That is the most important skill in modern day times, and that is deteriorating also, frankly speaking, because I see the youth. Luckily my profession allows me to meet always youth of India, so that is something which is useful, and I see the reading as a skill is on a declining path. So I'll suggest you a mantra over here that you need to follow. Number 1, read one good newspaper on a daily basis. And when I say read, you also want to make notes from it, right? It's not like just reading. You want to make notes from it so that even after 1.5 year, you will be able to understand and recall those facts. And sometimes I see people take economic times and try to just verbatim read it from beginning to end. Please understand, today the problem is of plenty. 30-40 years before, there was lack of books and all those physical availability and all that, but your generation is going through problem of plenty. That means you should be very smart when it comes to filtering the news. So personally, I will recommend any news that you feel does not have a shelf life of at least 6 months, you should avoid reading it. Don't read only the headlines or just news like chain snatching and all those kind of stuff happening here and there, because that will not have any relevance after 6 months. So when you have a newspaper in front of you, you need to filter out those news which you feel at the beginning can be helpful even after 6 months. So that's the way you can filter out and find out the most important news, because time is precious and all of you say that you have very limited time and lack of time. So that's the one way in which you can do it. But do it on a regular basis. There are very good newspapers beyond ET also. I think we have Mint, which gives good data visualization and infographics. Second, I will recommend to read one good magazine on a weekly and monthly basis or bi-monthly basis. So a couple of magazines which I always recommend. Number 1, The Economist, which is one of the best magazine I believe. It comes on a weekly basis and gives you comprehensive things which are happening around the globe. You get a lot of information beyond that also on technology, finance, various other aspects. And another couple of magazines which I will recommend to you are MIT Sloan Business Management Review and Harvard Business Review, right? Both the magazines are extremely costly at your end or at even other people's end. It's not advisable to purchase, but again, library is there. Thank you so much once again. We have both MIT Sloan Business Management Review and Harvard Business Review, one of the best magazines for the business, right? If you go through, you will understand that people who are doing research for 20-25 years, they're writing articles and getting it published into the HBR. So maybe I as a faculty might not be able to do that much justice on AI or business analytics as compared to someone who is researching for 30 years on that topic and has published a particular article in that, right? So that is number 2. So number 3 is to read a book on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis. When I say book, I am talking about non-academic, non-fictional book, right? Books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Psychology of Money, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I think many of people are already reading, Atomic Habits by James Clear, right? Do read such kind of books. They will propel you on a completely different trajectory and you will not be the same person after 5 to 10 years. I can vouch for that. See, there are PGDM2 must be having 60 students, right? Although as a teacher, I would have loved that all 60 become CEO one day of a company or open their own organizations, but let us be practical, it will not happen that way, right? So as you have a pyramid structure as you go up the ladder. So at that point of time, what will differentiate your capabilities is the reading. What kind of reading you have done for past 10 years will govern how next 10 years will be, because it will shape your thinking, right? So with this mantra, to read one good newspaper on a daily basis, to read good magazine on a weekly or a monthly basis, and to read one good book on a monthly basis is something with which I would like to rest my voice. Thank you so much once again for the library and the for allowing me to speak on this. Thank you so much.